are you doing? I'm being absolutely ridiculous and I feel ridiculous and I hate sitting down because the human body is not ever meant to sit down. The human body is designed to be in the upright position and or sleeping, stretched out. So why do we sit down? And the experts, medical professionals, people who are trying to control chronic disease are sharing with us that sitting is the new smoking. The seated position is very dangerous for our health because we're taking out the biggest muscles in our body. The body's not designed to bend in the middle. So here's a really great question. Why do we ever exercise in the seated position? And there's a really interesting argument that people will share, which is better that I do some kind of exercise than no kind of exercise. So it's better for me to do rowing machine or bike or swimming, fully supported by the water. So technically not in the upright position. It's better for me to do those exercises than do nothing. But I always go back to the reason why we do something, and then there's a really big thing to consider, which is time. So do you want the best result in the shortest period of time in the safest way possible, the most effective exercise, or do you want to just put in a half-assed effort and then hope for a full-assed result? And to me that doesn't make any sense. So I'll give you another interesting example. I think that low intensity, easy exercise, which people say to me is better than nothing. It's better for me to go for a walk or a bike ride or a swim than it is to do nothing. But if you go for a walk or a bike ride or a swim long distance slowly, I call it plod jogging, plod biking, plod swimming, particularly swimming where your body's completely supported by the water, then what happens afterwards? So you do an hour of swimming or an hour of biking or an hour of walking, and in your headspace you've invested or spent or even wasted an hour of your life. A lot of people hate exercise. One whole hour I've been walking. And I think that that has the risk of making us chubbier, fatter, sicker, weaker. Because a lot of people after they've done an hour of exercise will say, well, I now deserve an extra cookie, an extra serving of, I deserve an extra takeaway meal. I can eat more because I've exercised for a long time. But is it the long time of exercise that gives us the result? Or is it the intensity of the exercise? Or is it this, if we're fit and strong, we have a fast metabolism, our body works better, so the rest of our life is more effective? So if I have to ask, and it's for me a really important question, if you've got an hour of time and you can't get that back, you can get more money, you can get more friends, you can get a better job, you can get into great relationships, but you can never get more time. Once you've wasted time, it's gone. So if I've only got an hour of time, do I want to get a great result from that hour of time or just a half-assed result? And I use that as an expression all the time because I get really sad. A lot of people start an exercise program, they don't get the results that they want, so they quit and they become unhealthy and sick and weak and frail and old really fast, and they blame the exercise program. I tried that and it didn't work. Well, let's go back to the basics of how the human body works. To get fit, you've got to get puffed, yeah? No one argues that. To get strong, you've got to overload your muscles. And a really important question to ask is, if I'm going to do either of those, get puffed or overload my muscles, is it more effective in the upright position or the seated position? Is it better for me to go really hard, intense, 100% effort, or to plod jog through the activity? Now, and there's a different way to look at this again. I love going hiking, which is walking technically. I love having a swim on a hot day. And I love going biking. I live in the best biking area in the world, I think, the South Island of New Zealand. But I want to be fit and strong so I can go and do those things. I don't do those things to get fit and strong because they're ineffective. Doing something for a very long time, just by definition, I can't do it hard. You can work really hard or really long, but you can't do both, obviously. So if I get really fit, so I get puffed to get fit, I overload my muscles and bones to get strong, then I can go and do bike riding, hiking, swimming. I can go and do all the things that I want to do. Now, I'm using me personally as an example, but I have a human body, you have a human body, and your human body works the same as mine. If you want to get fit, you've got to get puffed. If you want to get strong, you've got to overload your muscles and bones. The most effective way to do that at 100% effort, and I'll rephrase that. Do you want to get a 50% result? If you only put in a 50% effort, how can you possibly expect a 100% result? It just doesn't make any sense, of course. So I like to put in 100% effort, get puffed, 100% effort, lift heavy, then I can go and do all the things that I want to do. So I ask this question on a regular basis. I bang on about this every day. Do you want an exercise program that is short or long, risk of injury or safe? Do you want it to be effective or ineffective? So surely we should be able to demand from whatever we do that it's safe, so I'm not going to get injured, because obviously if you're injured, you can't do anything. And that's one of the challenges I have with the seated position. So many injuries can happen in the seated position. So is it safe? Is it fast so I don't get bored? And is it effective so I get a great result? And even more important, do I get the result fast? Because if I've got to wait a month or a year to see a result, I'm probably going to quit my exercise program. So if you want to be healthy, fit and strong, should it be in the seated position or the standing position? Should it be hard or easy? Should it be fast or slow? Should it be safe or unsafe? And I don't want any of the silly things going on in my life. How about you? I want my exercise to be fast, so the actual session is fast, the result is fast, it's safe so I don't get injured, and it's really short so I don't get bored, and I want it to be effective. So whatever result you want to get, may your exercise program give you that. And if it's not, maybe you've got to get off your ass. Super duper doo, how are you? Never exercising on my ass, woohoo!